Hi everybody. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about multivitamins, vitamins. They are super, super, super important today, especially with the lack of quality of food that we eat and just what's available to us in the food. They're super important to supplement. I do highly recommend it as a health coach. But before you head off to Walmart or Target or any of those places, we really have to have a conversation about the quality of vitamins. Not all vitamins are created equal. Please, if you don't get anything else out of this video, at least please get that. Not all vitamins are created equal. Because vitamins that you're going to find on the store shelves at places like Walmart are basically completely synthetic. There's nothing not natural about them. They're basically made in a factory. So why does that matter? Well, because your body is not made to utilize or absorb or use in any way these synthetic vitamins. It's like the difference between taking an apple, picking it off a tree and eating it, and taking a plastic apple out of like a craft store and trying to eat that. That's kind of where I'm getting at here. So the big thing to consider, because these are not the same, synthetic and natural forms. The big thing to consider when we're talking about vitamins is bioavailability. Bioavailability means basically how much of the vitamin is actually available to the body. Like how much of it are you actually going to be able to use after you take it. Synthetic vitamins, they do not have the bioavailability. They're synthetic. They're not going to be utilized. In fact, these can actually damage the body, and it's not that they're not even being used, and that they can actually cause damage in certain cases and even be toxic. So you might say, oh, well, next time I'm at the store, I'll look for natural ones. I'll look for whatever it says natural on the label. Problem here is that the word natural, in my opinion, has almost been abused when it comes to this, because there's very little regulation in how companies can use the term. And so a lot of these companies are using the word natural on the front of their bottles, and their vitamins inside are very synthetic, or at least completely overprocessed. So that term really doesn't get you very far anymore. You have to do a lot more research and a lot more digging to discover whether or not this is truly a natural vitamin or just a synthetic one in a natural package. They might say, like, a synthetic vitamin might say on the back of it, might say, okay, we have vitamin A, vitamin B1, but if it was a natural vitamin, it's not going to list vitamin A. It's going to list beta carotene, which is the natural form of vitamin A. It will also list like thiamine instead of vitamin B1. So it's going to list the natural form of the vitamin. If you see just on the back of the vitamin that says vitamin A, vitamin B1, and it says nothing about either its natural form, then it's probably just a synthetic form of that was made in a factory. So you're not going to get much out of it, and you're going to want to consider something different. Now, even if you come across, say, a product that says natural, you're looking through and it does have some good things on the label, there's some other things that are very important that you're going to want to consider, and that is processing and cofactors. Most fruit and vegetable concentrates that are used in dietary supplements, they're dried with very high heat, and that basically destroys the various nutrients that are in that. So then what they do is they essentially spike that supplement with synthetic vitamins to kind of make up for what was lost in the heat process. And then they can still label it a whole food supplement, when in reality, it maybe started as a whole food supplement, was killed off, and then now it's mostly synthetic. So you really need to be careful with that too. The other thing, like I said, is isolated. Okay, so isolated, what does isolated mean? Well, basically, when you're talking about vitamins in their natural forms, well, companies will use a vitamin in its natural form, but it's by itself, okay? It's isolated from what's called its cofactors. So if you take like vitamin E, for example, okay, vitamin E, the natural form of it is D-alpha tocopherol, okay? You're going to see that on there, but here's the thing. That might be its natural form, but it's still unnatural in certain instances because it's by itself. In nature, alpha tocopherol exists with 7 other different vitamin E compounds. 7, okay? So these things are important when it comes to how the body is able, its ability to utilize this vitamin A, or vitamin E, excuse me, because these things assist the enzymes. So it's important not just to have the vitamin in its natural form, but to have the vitamin with its cofactors. So you need to look for all of these different things. The problem is it's very hard to find. It's very hard to read this on the labels or on the packaging when you're sitting there in front of the store shelves trying to determine what to take, because 98%, it's been estimated, okay, 98% of the vitamin supplements that are on the market today are either completely synthetic, partially synthetic, or isolated without cofactors. So 98%, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very hard to go vitamin shopping. Believe me, I for years searched and searched and searched and trial and error. And now the only thing that I recommend to the clients who I'm health coaching, or even that I give to my family and what I take personally myself, is the Plexus X Factor Plus multivitamin. So what makes Plexus X Factor Plus different from all the other 98% or anything else that's out there? Basically, it has at least 100%, okay, of the requirement for 19 different vitamin and minerals and over 50 different trace minerals, naturally occurring trace minerals. And these have been tested, thoroughly tested and researched, and they have been found, proven, to be the most bioactive and bioavailable forms of these nutrients, okay? Bioactive basically means it's ready to be used. So your body kind of goes through different processes to make a vitamin usable. Well, these are already bioactive, meaning they have already been activated. So they're already ready. They're ready to be used. Bioavailable means how well it can be absorbed. So these have been tested. It's not like me just giving you my opinion. These have been tested, and they have been found to be the most bioactive, bioavailable forms. The X Factor Plus is also a capsule form. It's not a tablet, because tablets take a lot longer to dissolve and to absorb, and they also have a lot of binding agents in them that they're not good, and they can further slow down absorption. So very, very important too. The X Factor Plus is also non-GMO, which means it's safe. You're not going to have the pesticides. It's gluten-free, vegetarian, so that's important too. And it has methylated forms of certain B vitamins. So what do I mean by methylated forms of Bs? So basically, okay, you have this thing called the MTHFR gene. And basically, when you eat certain B vitamins, folic acid, B9, B12, these types of things, your body, so this gene actually converts the vitamin to its active form for your body, okay? So this is important because the active form, for example, folic acid, the active form, which is methylfolate, is important. I mean, your body uses that. It has a role in almost every single thing your body does. So this is super, super important. The active form actually, you know, it can repair and regenerate cells, tissue, DNA. It regulates and gene expression, synthesizes neurotransmitters to help with like mood, as well as memory, sleep, these types of things. Keeps inflammation in check. So very, very important when we talk about different inflammatory diseases and things that can go wrong. It activates and it regulates the immune system, modulates toxins and heavy metals. So these are like really important big things, okay, that these B vitamins and the methylated forms actually do. The problem is that studies are estimating now that between 40 and 60% of people have the MTHFR gene mutation, which essentially means that they cannot metabolize folic acid or these B vitamins properly, and so they're likely getting like 70% less of these Bs than people who can metabolize them correctly. So back to the Plexus X Factor vitamin, which is already has methylated forms of B in it. These are methylated forms for people who have this gene mutation, okay? So this is very, very, very important. The X Factor Plus also has aloe in it. Aloe, okay? Aloe in itself is like its own multivitamin almost. So, and I'm not talking about aloe like aloe juice. I'm talking about it has the gel from the inner leaf, okay, of the aloe, the part of the plant, which is the most powerful part, the most bioactive part of the aloe plant. This part, this gel in itself has it has 75 potentially active components, which include like vitamin minerals, enzymes, antioxidants, and amino acids. So it has in itself just this aloe component. It has tons of stuff in it. This aloe gel also contains 20 of the 22 human required amino acids, and it has all 8 of the 8 essential amino acids. It has compounds that are antibacterial, antiviral, analgesic. It has 4 fatty acids that are very anti-inflammatory, and hormones in it that kind of help heal wounds. So you could say, like I said, that this is kind of a vitamin multi in itself because it has so many things, but this is what's in the Plexus X Factor multivitamin. The X Factor Plus is also considered to be a microbiome activating supplement. What this means is it has been scientifically proven to stimulate and activate good microbes in the gut. Basically, it increases the production and the activity of certain good or friendly bacteria, some as high as like 15 times. So this again is really important. X Factor Plus also has chlorophyll in it, which chlorophyll is a type of plant pigment, but it can do, it's linked to like natural cancer preventions, reduces DNA damage, speeds wound healing, cleanses the liver. It's good for detoxing, lowers inflammation, helps with digestion, controls appetite, protects skin. Like, it does all these amazing things. And again, this is in the Plexus X Factor multivitamin. So the Plexus X Factor Plus, it goes way beyond, above and beyond just providing vitamins and minerals to the body. In my opinion, this is not even like in the same class as a lot of the other things that are on the market today, because I haven't seen anything else that has the quality, the testing to back it up, that affects gut microbes, and it does all these other different things in the body. And so I'm not exaggerating at all when I say it is my opinion, and I firmly believe that every adult in America needs to be taking Plexus X Factor Plus. And it's for the reasons that I just told you. If you have any questions whatsoever on the vitamin, if you want more information on the studies that I mentioned, or the specific label, anything at all you have questions on, please don't hesitate for a second to ask me. I have tons of things in my file that I can just shoot right over to you. So that's all I have for now on the Plexus X Factor multivitamin. Get a hold of me if you have any questions. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.